Going live. All righty, you are looking live. It's sold out, MetLife Stadium with today. The 16-0 playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Tennessee Titans. And why are the Tennessee Titans 0-16? Because they sucked. They won nothing. Since the 1961 AFL Championship game, over 60 years. The Houston Oilers, the Tennessee Oilers, the Tennessee Titans. You ain't won nothing in over 60 years. You suck. The only team in NFL history with back-to-back one-win seasons, the Houston Oilers, 72-73, baby. Check it out. When you got back-to-back one-win seasons, you suck. You really sucked back then, too. Oh, my God. Woo, they were bad. Let me tell you what. When the 1973 Giants beat you 34-14, you really suck. That Giant team only won 2 games. 34-14 opening day game. They beat the Houston Oilers. Whew, that's a bad team right there. Their coach was absolutely pathetic. He was an absolute joke. But anyway, welcome to the Gridiron, baby. Anybody out there that's going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Means the world to me. Thank you. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away. Throw in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box. Yeah, it can be 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free to fire away. But plus also, I mean, seriously, instead of me rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might want to be, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away with the comments. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron, baby. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you're subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Maybe give this video a thumbs up or share this video. That would be freaking awesome. And then finally, also, just a little ways down, there's 2 additional links. In the description box. The top one's a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. The one on top of it, the one underneath it. I'm an old-time fart. I can't stand change. I kind of like things just kind of like the way they are. Don't be changing stuff up on me, right? I'm a moron. I don't like changing all that. Just keep things nice and simple, right? It's a Twitter link. Right? It's always been Twitter to me. It'll always be Twitter to me, right? I'm one of them, I said, like, old-time farts. Get off my lawn! Old-time kind of farts, right? One of them, right? So whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants me to call it, I ain't calling it that, bro. That's on you. I'm calling it Twitter because it's Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise, okay? I try to put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day. And then finally, the link on top of it takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We just doing really well. We just jumped up another 100 members. We're over 8,400 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group, but the members post stuff in this group as well. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All that stuff said and done and out of the way with. Busy day. Minicamp. like what Daboll was trying to say. He's not trying to like overload everybody. One thing, times have kind of changed a little bit. Paul Dottino, he was talking about kind of like, because when he first started the Giants, I think it was 83, I think. So he's been with the Giants or, organization for like, over 40 years now. I think it's 41st season, 42nd season, whatever it is. Guy's been with the Giants for a long, long time. So he's been around since the Bill Parcells era. And he was talking about how kind of things have kind of changed a little bit, kind of like how back in the day with Minicamp, the rookie minicamp, some of what they was almost trying to do was like, when you get the rookies in and all, maybe undrafted free agents and all, try to maybe get them in and like overload them with stuff, to see which guys can handle it. Which guys would swim and which guys were sinking, right? That help weed the players out, right? It's a little bit different now. Now, I mean, they give them everything's very basic. They give them a very light load as far as different plays and stuff. I think Daboll was talking at the press conference today that they give them a little bit. But apparently when they had the OTAs and they start coming, they start adding a couple hundred plays. So you really have to start being on your P's and Q's. But a lot of it's just kind of like walk through and very basic, very, very basic. I mean, there's all different types of guys they got brought in. I mean, obviously some of them are they obviously at the mini camp or the rookies, so they're very well aware of them. But some of them are going to be going over. They brought in some maybe undrafted free agents, also some other guys, some tryout guys. There's an international guy they brought in. So they got all different types of flavors of guys at the camp and all that. Everything. So not everybody. It's not everybody. Everybody's not in the same situation, shall we say? Everybody's not in the same boat. Right, everything's different, but we'll get to that as we go along here. But first thing I saw that I want to go over here is 5 Giants who are likely entering their final season with the team. Now this is a G-Men HQ. Okay, so they got first one. Wait, hold on. Up. Let me go back. There we go. Okay, I don't want. Well, I think we know who number 1 might be, but anyway, this guy here too is such a freaking shame. I mean, because really, Aaron Robinson took him in the 3rd round. And I'm certainly not saying that when he was on the field, the guy was the next Deion Sanders But when he was on the field, he was productive. The problem was, he can't be. He's never on the field. He's always injured. Matter of fact, after the Giants drafted him, as soon as I don't know if it was scheduled or whatever, exactly when it's, but I mean, they drafted him, and like the next thing you know, he was like having muscle core surgery. It's like he's never ever healthy. He's always injured. He missed all the way. I mean, he had this. The knee injury he had was a very bad one. It's such a shame. It really is. I mean, I can't stand the Eagles. I can't stand the guy, but I don't want to see nobody get injured. Nobody. Unfortunately, it's part of the game. I mean, it's a shame, right? And it says, especially guys, who are trying to up and coming and all that. And he made the team and all of that. And, it's just a shame. I mean, because there certainly was some talent there. And you can certainly see if he was able to stay healthy and all, might quite possibly still be on the team. Oh, he is still on the team. But, I mean, he'd be maybe be a contributor, big-time contributor. He might even be a starter. Who knows? But the guy cannot stay healthy. It's such a shame. But, I mean, obviously, he wasn't even around all last season. It might be, a shame because even if he does recover from his knee injury, You don't even know if he'll be able to play at a pro level. Yeah, it's a shame. It really is a shame. Yeah, but any of these guys, they put their heart and soul into it and everything like that. And, So they got cornerback Aaron Robinson. Early on in his career, it really seemed like Aaron Robinson had the potential to be a very solid corner in the NFL. However, he's played just 11 games in 3 seasons. And the Giants may be fed up with wasting time on his development. Well, I mean, his development. The guy came in, he can't stay healthy. He's trying to recover. And a lot of like what are these, a lot of these guys, like maybe Daniel Jones, you hear about, at least you hear about his, what he's doing, he's progressing and all that stuff. And Aaron Robinson is like nothing. Like crickets. What's going on with the guy? It was like, there might have been a report here or there out on him last season. I just, I might have missed it. That's for sure. But there's nothing. What's going on with this guy? What's happening? So, shame. Realistically, we could see Robinson getting released before the 2024 season even starts. That's true. Not only could the Giants benefit from clearing up their log jam at corner, but cutting Robinson would save the Giants a little over $1 million in cap space. So it's an unfortunate tale, but one of the Giants are familiar with. It's far too often when that New York adds a young, talented player on their roster just to have their potential ruined by injuries. We wish Robinson nothing but the best, but it's not looking good for the 26-year-old cornerback moving forward. Which is quite, it's a shame. It really is a shame. Now, this guy here, okay, let's hope this guy stays healthy and everything, but quite possibly this might be his last season with the Giants. That's even if he makes the final 53. You don't even know. But if he gets put on the practice squad, if their injury pops up here or so, I'm sure he'll get some playing time. But quite possibly the way the Giants are adding wide receivers and all that, this might be his last season with big Isaiah Hodgins. After shocking the world with his end-of-the-season heroics in 2022, many thought Isaiah Hodgins was primed to be the next star receiver for the Giants. However, when the time came for him to take that leap, Hodgins almost disappeared last season. Whether it was due to poor quarterback play, poor offensive line play, or the chance that his heroics was a fluke, Hodgins was massively disappointing in 2023. Through 17 games, he caught just 21 passes for 230 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, that was while he could very well be in it for a bounce-back season. If Daniel Jones improves, there's a real chance that this season is Hodgins' last in New York. Some even thought Hodgins wouldn't be returning for this season. After what happened last season, I wasn't sure if they'd be bringing him back at all, just to be truthful with you. But I'm happy he's here. I'm happy. As originally, Joe Schoen opted to let him hit the open market in free agency. However, it didn't take long before Hodgins re-signed with the Giants on a 1-year contract. Regardless, it'll likely take a lot for him to be back in 2025. I don't know if they got. Let me see here. Hold on. I'm cheating here. Oh, okay. The guy is on there. Okay. All right. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Just want to make sure this other guy I was thinking about is on there. Since we're talking about Isaiah Hodgins, we're going to need to be talking about somebody else too. And he's on there. Okay. This one here, Azeez Ojulari. Shame. Similar to Robinson, Azeez Ojulari had a ton of potential to be great for the Giants. However, injuries have hampered his progression, and following the Brian Burns trade, we're not sure if he'll even get much playing time in 2023. Well, we'll have to wait and see. He needs to be healthy. Last season, was not very productive for him. I'm not sure if the injuries are catching up with him or what, but it was not very productive for him last season. Quite possibly. Because especially a lot of guys who got 2 things going against them. One, sorry. number one. They weren't drafted by Shane. That's strike number one. Strike number two. If you injuries, that's two big strikes against you right there. Right. And then the other thing would be too is like after your rookie contract's up, you're going to want to get, well, I mean, he's all right. He ain't getting much money. Azeez Ojulari, he's not hitting the open market. Well, I'm going to make $15 million. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can maybe see, I mean, they brought back Oshane Ximines, right, for a year. So, I mean, somebody might pick him up. That's for sure. And somebody might throw a few million at his way. So I'll have to wait and see. But injuries is just, I think, the guys, a lot of the guys that Shane's bringing in, whether they're, draftees or free agents, the smart, tough, the dependable part is huge. Okay. So quite possibly, Azeez might be his latest season here. But let's see. Combined with his disappointing play from last season makes him an easy candidate to let him walk in the offseason. In 11 games last year, and once again, he missed 6 games. Right? In 11 games last year, Ojulari racked up just 16 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 25 pressures. I'll take that. That's not bad, But given how relatively disappointing New York's pass rush has been in recent years, aside from Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence, the Giants simply need more out of their other edge rusher position. And they got Burns. They brought in Burnsy. That's where Burns comes in, subsequently knocking Ojulari to the bench. It's unfortunate, but Burns will provide more than Ojulari ever has. Given his extensive injury history, we couldn't be shocked if Shane let Ojulari walk in the offseason in order to bring in a more guaranteed option off the bench. Now, obviously that's certainly, don't be surprised. I mean, like I said, like if next season the Giants, high up on their list or whatever, in first, second round or something, you can't have too many rushers, pass rushers. If they bring in, they either draft a defensive tackle who can get to the quarterback or draft another edge rusher or something like that. Don't be surprised. Can't have too many of them. Absolutely not. All right, so then the next one, since we were talking about, obviously, Hodgins, the next one would be, and he may not even last this season. We'll have to wait and see how the contract negotiations wind up going. But since we're talking Hodgins, the next one on our list here would have to be Darius Slayton. While there have been some positive talks recently between Darius Slayton and the Giants, if they're unable to put a deal together, there's almost no chance Slayton will return next year. In fact, he could very easily get traded if things go south. It's quite possible. Now, the thing is here, Slayton is gonna get paid about $6 million this season if he plays with the Giants. Right now, the $6 million he's going to get paid this season will be very, equal to probably his production, unless we got, we're talking New York Giants football here, so you always got to throw the word injuries in there. If a bunch of injuries wipes out a bunch of our wide receivers, I hope not. Then obviously Slayton, gets pushed up the depth chart, and he's a starter, and he's going to get some chances. He's going to get some catches. He's going to get some yards and all that. Once again, his $6 million would look very putrid compared to what his production is. Okay. However, if by some stroke of God, right, we all get down, sweet dear baby Jesus, please let us stay healthy this season, right? And then we actually have some kind of health going in our way this season. I know it'd be a miracle, right? The Giants stay healthy, right? He's going to get paid about what his production will be, right? $6 million, and he's going to be on the bench, probably a decent amount. I'd say because they're probably going to want Hyatt out there because they drafted him. They're going to want Wandale Robinson out there because they drafted him. And then they're going to want some other dude by Nabers out there because they drafted him too. So that kind of bumps him to the bench. So the amount of money he's making would be $6 million to be a productive, person come off the bench. That'd be equal to salary and all that. What he's trying to get paid for, and I don't blame him, is what he's done. 4 out of 5 years, I've been, over 700 yards, and I'm only making $6 million. I said DeVonta Smith's making $25 million a year. DeVonta Smith had like 300 more yards last season on a team with a lot better offense, better offensive line, better weapons and all that stuff. And he had 300 more yards, and he's getting paid 4 times the amount of money that Darius Slayton is. Numbers don't add up. So Slayton wants to get paid, what he's been producing. Shane is kind of like, I don't know if he's going to be sticking to his guns or not. That I don't know. But, Slayton's going to want to get paid pretty much about what his production will be this season. Right. So, and I said it'd be kind of odd. I mean, if Shane, we don't have a ton of money, right? Don't have a lot. I'm saying, but if Shane were to bump up his salary just the same, I'm just throwing a number out, say like $10 million a year, just throwing a number out there, bump his salary up to $10 million, and then he's on the sideline 60% of the snaps. It just doesn't make much sense. So then the last one here, the last guy, last season might be with the New York Giants. Can you guess who that might be? But it was Slayton here. 5 seasons, Slayton has scored 220 passes, 3,324 yards, and 19 touchdowns. Regardless of his quarterback, coach, or system, Slayton has always shown up, played his role, and been a huge part of the locker room. It's about time the Giants began to respect him. And I certainly understand. I certainly understand where he's coming from. But unfortunately, when they drafted Malik Nabers, they brought McKenzie in, who might, wind up being a, obviously the return man for the kickoffs. And I'm not saying McKenzie's going to be getting on the field much, but they drafted Nabers. That's got to bump somebody out of the starting lineup. Now, if we go 4 wide, you can see Hyatt. You can see you got a lot of speed. Yeah, Hyatt and Slayton and Robinson and Nabers 4 wide. That's some speed there. Let me tell you what. All right, so then finally, the last guy here. Could be Daniel Jones, could it? No. This may not come as a surprise, but Jones has a long way to go in order to be worth that $47 million cap hit he has this season. Unless a miracle occurs and Jones returns to plays above the 2022 season, there's almost no way he won't be released in 2025. Jones is currently being paid like a top quarterback in the NFL, yet in 23 he played like one of the worst before tearing his ACL. Now, given the Giants' efforts to trade up for Drake May in this year's draft, it seems like they've lost faith in Jones' ability to lead the team. This isn't surprising, as his 2 touchdown, 6 interception outing last season was nothing short of abysmal. Yep. In the modern NFL, you need to either have an elite quarterback or a top-tier supporting cast to achieve meaningful success. Currently, the Giants have neither, so it may be time to move on from Jones sooner rather than later in order to find their new franchise guy behind center. My buddy Randy here, he's sleeping. He's making all these freaking kind of noises and stuff. So that's a pretty decent list. I don't want to argue with anybody on there. We'll have to wait and see with Jones. The thing is, there's a bunch of quarterbacks coming out next season. A lot of people some people seem to think that there's quarterbacks coming out. Some people seem to think that it's obviously it's not as good as this year's. Then there's other people saying, there'll be some good guys coming out next season. So we'll have to wait and see. The thing is that the Giants battle their way, say they're 8-9, right? 9-8, somewhere around there. And they're picking like 17 or 18 or whatever. You know what I mean? Makes it really tough. I mean, it makes it almost impossible to get the number one quarterback or whatever. It's, you know what I mean? So, but, you know, I mean, so they'll have their eye on a couple quarterbacks, and if one of them were to fall to them, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But that's it. The Giants always, you know, we got Drew Lock just for this season, so we can also wind up bringing him back, and maybe have a chance to be the starter next season. But we're not going to bring Drew Lock back next season for $40 million. That's not happening. Not happening. You know, so I'll have to wait and see. But that's a pretty accurate list as far as the 5 guys who may not be back. I mean, there are other guys too, but I mean that's a pretty fair, accurate assessment. All right, now the next we got the Giants. It's like the initial numbers, because I think Nabers got like number 9 and Graham Gano's got number 9, and you can't have 2 guys in the same. You know what I mean? And apparently, I think Gano said he's not giving up his number 9. He gave up number 5 to Kayvon, so I don't know why he's not giving up number 9. I don't know. But he gave up 5, and Kayvon had to make some type of a donation to a dog. I don't want to say a charity. It had something to do with dogs. Love it. Absolutely love it. So, you know, Kayvon wrote a check, right? Gave donated the money. Graham took the 5, gave it to him. Graham Gano's got the 9. The thing is, you know, also it's like there's a lot of guys, you know, who have some of these lower numbers. I mean, I think Burns has got 0, right? But you got to remember also, you know, the retired numbers as well too, right? So we got 13 numbers. There was 14 numbers, but I'll go over that in a second. But there's 13 numbers and 14 players, which doesn't make much sense, but I'll go over it, you know, it'll help clear it up a little bit. But you got to remember 1, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14, 16, 32, 40, 42, 50, 56, and 92. 13 numbers, 14 players, 13 numbers you can't have. And a lot of them obviously are low, right? You got 1, 4, 7, 10, 11, 14, 16. So you got 7 numbers in the top 16 you can't have. And on top of that, I mean, where are we at here? See it here? Burns, I think Burns is number 0. Drew Lock apparently is number 2. Deonte Banks is number 3. You can't have number 4. You can't have number 1. Ray Flaherty is number 1. He's the first guy ever, as far as I think, in the NFL, in football, to get his number retired. Ray Flaherty of the Giants, number 1. First guy ever to get his number retired in the NFL. So you can't get 1 because it's Ray Flaherty. You can't have 4 because that's Tuffy Leemans. You can't have 7 because that's Mel Hein, right? So we got 0. Brian Burns is 0. Ray Flaherty is 1. You can't have that. Drew Lock is 2, right? According to this list I'm looking at here. Deonte Banks is 3. Tuffy Leemans is 4. Can't have that. Chase Cota is 5. Kayvon Thibodeau is 5. Bryce Ford Wheaton is 6. Jamie Gillian, the Scottish Hammer, he's 6. You can't have 7 because that's Mel Hein. Daniel Jones has got 8. Graham Gano and Malik Nabers are both 9. You know, Graham Gano apparently, what I'm hearing, is not giving up his number. So obviously, he can't have, Malik Nabers can't have 9. He could have 8 if they release Daniel Jones next season. Okay. But so then you can't have 10 because that's some dude, Eli Manning. You can't have 11 because that's some dude, Phil Simms. 12 is Darren Waller. Now, he could have 12 if Darren Waller were to retire. Okay. 13 is Jalen Hyatt, so you can't have that number. 14. Weird. Yeah. Wyatt Tittle and Ward Cuff. The number was retired with Ward Cuff at number 14. Then they traded for Y.A. Tittle. He asked to have number 14, and they agreed. And Y.A. Tittle played 61, 62, 63, and 64 with the Giants. He retired. Then they re-retired the number under Ward Cuff and Y.A. Tittle. Right, so you can't have 14. 15 is Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan. So if he makes the team, we'll say. But 16, some dude by the name of Frank Gifford. Can't have that. Wan'Dale Robinson's got 17. Isaiah Hodgins got 18. Isaiah Simmons got 19. Eric Gray's got 20. Jalen Mills 21. Brightwell. So you got to, you could have 22. You can't have 32 because that's Al Bloses. Joe Morrison is 40. Charlie Connolly is 42. You can't have 50. You can't have 56. That's some dude by the name of Lawrence Taylor. And you can't have Ken Strong. By the way, I forgot. Ken Strong is number 50. Some dude by the name of Lawrence Taylor is 56. And, of course, we know Michael is number 92. So you can't have those. Number 3 was retired. Len Grant, guy played tackle for the Giants from 1930 to 1937. He was a very good tackle for the Giants. Big. He was like 6'3", I think it was, like 235 pounds. I mean, back then, that's a big freaking dude, right? So he played 8 seasons for the Giants from 1930 to 1937. Unfortunately, he lived in Massachusetts, I believe. And August 6th, 1938, he was playing golf. I forgot the name of the golf course. I believe it was in Massachusetts at his home. So this is before the 38 season started. Now, as far as I know, he was going to play for the Giants that season. And it's a shame because they won the championship in 1938 to beat the Packers 23-17. But anyway, so I think he was at home in Massachusetts. He was playing around the golf, and a storm blew up, came in. And wherever he was hiding or whatever, he was trying to wade the storm out, and he got struck by a bolt of lightning and got killed. So they retired his number 3, right? So it was in 1938. Well, then go fast forward about 30 years. The Giants wind up they made a move and they signed Pete Gogolak from the AFL, which was kind of like that started kind of like a war, kind of, because back then the NFL and the AFL they didn't go picking. We're going to take your player, you take our player. It really didn't do that. So that kind of started. That's sort of some problems. Pete Gogolak was with the Bills, and the Giants brought him in because the Giants kicking situation after 65 was unbelievable. I think the Giants were 4 out of 22, I believe, field goals. I think that season, or 4 out of 25, or something like that. I think they made 4 field goals all season. So they got Pete Gogolak. And when in 1966, so when he came in, he wanted number 3. So the number 3 for Len Grant in 38, they retired. So they gave number 3, they unretired it, gave it to Pete Gogolak, who wore number 3 from 66 to 74. He played in the preseason of 75. He never wanted making the team. I don't know. I'm sure if Orange Barker didn't want him there or not. I don't know. But he didn't make the team in 75. But he was there in the preseason. But after he retired, they kept number 3 still available. So number 3 was retired for the Giants, and then they unretired it, and then they kept it open. So I don't know. It is what it is. But I mean, some of these guys can't have some of these numbers. I said, there's 7 numbers in the top 16 that they're retired from the Giants. It's a shame. Well, not a shame, and these guys certainly deserve, right? But we got Malik Nabers right now as number 9 once again. That's not going to be, as far as I know right now, because as far as I know, Graham Gano is keeping his number. So we're not exactly sure what's going to happen with Malik Nabers. But anyway, Tyler Nubin with 31, he ain't giving that one up because that's a big number as far as the Minnesota, the Gophers, Golden Gophers or Gophers or whatever it is. Big number. for 31 in the secondary. So he's got his number. He ain't giving that up for nothing. He's good to go with that. Andrew Phillips is number 22. So let's see here. Hold on, Andrew, number 22. Okay. Nope, that one's open. Yeah, Jalen Mills is 21. Andrew Phillips is 22. Brightwell is 23. Belton's 24. So, yeah, so he's good there if he's going to keep that. Theo Johnson's 47. Tyrone Tracy is 29. Now, 29. Let me see here. Whoops. Tyrone Tracy's 29. Cordell Flott's 28. Okay. Pennock's 27. Darnay Holmes is 30. So, all right. So we're good there. And then Muasau is number 57. Okay. So this is initial. It's not final, that with the numbers that they wind up having. Right? It is what it is. So I'm anxious to see what's going to go on with Nabers, I said, but I think he was number 8. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Malik Nabers. Let's try this. LSU. I think he was number 8, wasn't he? Let's see. Images. 8. Yeah. So if for some reason if Malik Nabers wants to be number 8, right? He's their number 1 pick this season. This, that, and the other. So. Perchance, if the Giants were to let Daniel Jones go, that would open up number 8. Next season, Malik Nabers might have number 8. Somebody might be telling him that. Hey, if you want to take a number that, or Darren Waller retires, take 12 or whatever or something like that. But if they let Daniel Jones go, number 8's open. So he might have to, obviously play under a certain number this season, but then next season and going forward. And I'll tell you what, putting the cart before the horse here, but if he winds up doing really good, hey, they might retire number 8 under his name. So we can only hope and pray. All right, let's see here. What else we got here? Oh, we got a bunch of roster moves, right? Transactions and roster moves, all kinds of stuff going on there. Let's see here. The Giants signing of some undrafted free agents and an international player. The international player, he's an exempt. He's an international signing. He's Jude McAdamney from Rutgers. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Now he's a kicker. Now he's got a heck of a leg. Yeah, obviously he's not. He was kicked 67% of the field goals last season. He's got a strong leg though. If you want a touchback, you bring this dude in. He's got a strong leg. Now the thing is that with Graham Gano healing and all and everything like that, in preseason, right? If Graham Gano's like, hey Graham, what do you want to do, buddy? You want to kick field goals and extra points? Let this freaking dude kick off. There we go, baby. Right. So, so it's that's a possibility here, but they brought in, we got some roster moves. You want roster moves? We got roster moves here for you. Yair Asante from Wyoming, free agent signing of wide receiver. Johnny Giles from West Florida, wide receiver. Alex Johnson, a defensive back from UCLA. Marcellus Johnson, offensive tackle from Missouri. Jake Kubas from North Dakota State, a guard. Now, quite possibly, he's a little on the light side. They'll have to add some girth to him, right? A little bit of weight to him. But they might also see if the guy might be able to snap the ball. It would certainly enhance, right, his position on the team. If he could start snapping the ball as well too. If he can be an interior guy, can play all 3 different positions. Right now, North Dakota State. Some decent offensive linemen. So, and if Priscilla can get his hands on him, right, the mad scientist, right, and work some magic with him, we might, and same thing with Marcellus Johnson. It's an offensive tackle from Missouri. if bring him in, if quite possibly, if Priscilla can work some magic with them, if these guys have the heart and drive and desire and all to be all they can be and everything like that, hey, maybe I said Marcellus Johnson could be maybe our swing tackle of the future. Who knows? Jay Kubis, right? I mean, could be, somebody might make the roster somewhere down along the line. Maybe not this year, but maybe a year or so down the road. He gets a little bit of size to him and all, works on his craft and everything like that. If he can play all three interior positions, get some versatility there, who knows? Then we got Casey Rogers, a defensive lineman from Oregon, right? And, Duck, just like Kayvon, right? Came same school as Kayvon. Let's see here. They waived Deion Jackson, the running back. We had a bunch of waived, injured, apparently. Deion Jackson. I'm not sure what was wrong, but what happened. But Deion Jackson was injured. Then they have Ovi Oghufo from LSU, defensive end. Maybe some, possibly a little something. Maybe as far as an edge rusher. I'll have to wait and see. But once again, you need a scorecard to keep up with all this stuff and everything. It's amazing. How the salary cap is, is like flow. How much money the Giants have, or they don't. It's like always moving. Right? Well, it's the same thing here with this. I mean, the roster, it's never set. Right, you can bring these 7 or 8 guys in and say, okay, we got these guys, and then by the end of next week, 3 of them can be gone. We have 3 new guys coming in. It's just going to bring you guys in. Oh, okay, cool. I mean, the guy might be here today, could be literally gone tomorrow. So, there is another guy I'm going to talk about who the Giants brought in. Okay, who has a little bit of pro experience. Possibly might be able to help the team out a little bit. So I'm going to go over him in a little bit. But so the Giants, we got some signings going on there, as I said. But once again, it's very fluid. Yeah, these guys are coming and going. I said basically you need a scorecard to keep up with these guys. All the guys that are coming in. Now the Giants, they signed the 1st round pick, Malik Nabers. He put pen to paper. Gotta love it, baby. Right? Let's see here. What do we got here? Per over the cap, Nabers' first professional deal is set to be worth just over $29.2 million over the next 4 seasons, with a $5.31 million cap hit in store for the upcoming 2024 season. I got another article here. Talks with an $18 million signing bonus. Way to go, brother. You're a rich man. Congratulations, pal. Obviously, it's fully guaranteed, and then of course, let's hope, keep our fingers crossed and all that we'll be picking up the 5th-year option, right? Saving ourselves a bunch of money because top wide receivers nowadays are getting $30 million, right? So we're picking up the 5th-year option. I mean, you're looking, you have to pick up the 5th-year option before the 4th year starts. So it's not like you can wait, a week or 2 before the 5th-year season start. And you have to, but you're figuring like 4 years from now. So, if the top wide receivers are getting $30 million, what are they going to get in 4 years from now with the salary cap going up, I guess? I mean, I'm sure they'll be making 35, top receivers. So the Giants will wind up saying if they pick up the 5th-year option, I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't know for sure, but I mean, when they do, hopefully, because everything goes well, right, pick up his 5th-year option, it might cost the Giants maybe $20 million or something like that. So, but they'll be saving themselves. It's going to cost some money, but they'll be saving, instead of paying a guy 35, they only have to pay him 20. But once again, putting the cart before the horse. But hopefully that'll be the situation, right? That they'll be picking up his 5th-year option, because they're doing that for the most part. It means everything's really going very nice. Let's see here. So got Malik Nabers here. $5.31 million his cap hit this season. Right, yeah, 29, a little over 29.2 million is his signing bonus is 4.515 million for this season. So that basically the signing bonus they gave him, the $18 million signing bonus, basically they prorated that out over, the 4 years, the life of the contract. So basically it's 4.5 this year, 4.5, 4.5, 4. So you got 4.5, 4.5. So that's 9 million in 2 years. So 9 and 9 in the 4 years would be 18 million. So that's a nice thing. It makes it nice for the players and everything like that, because, this way you can give them a nice chunk of money, right? And you can spread it out over the life of the contract. So it's really, 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 really good. So the Giants, so makes him happy, right? And plus this season his cap hit's not that much. Like I said, because you look at it, right, it's a little over 29 million. So on a 4-year deal, that's like 7.3 million a season, right? 7.3, and I'm sure he's going to be well worth it, right? But this season, he's only counting a little over a 5 total salary cap. So it'll be saving the Giants a little bit of money this season. So that's good. All right, what we got here? Yeah, so the Giants, let's see here. Top 51 cap space. They have like $1.9 million. So they don't have a lot of money left. Because according to Spot Track, that's all I'm going by. If you look at over the cap, I'm sure for whatever reason their numbers are different. I don't know why they're different, but they're different. But I said the one thing would be is that if Waller were to retire, right? Obviously that's going to save the Giants some money there. But the Giants don't have a ton of money right now, right? All right. Then of course, it was minicamp, right? So. What did we learn from minicamp? 7 things we learned from day 1 of Giants rookie minicamp. This is from Giants Wire. And I'm gonna one of the things I'm gonna skip over. The first thing I'm gonna skip over, because I'm gonna be talking about that, my last little thing here I'm gonna be talking about. So first one I'm gonna skip over. But it says the New York Giants kicked off day 1 of rookie minicamp. Day 2, if you count the guys arrived on Thursday and had like walkthroughs and stuff like that or whatever like that. So the guys were there actually on Thursday. So technically day 1 of minicamp was Friday, right? Which presented the first opportunity to see the 2024 NFL draft class on the field. Gotta love it, baby, right? Additionally, the Giants welcomed 8 undrafted rookie free agents and a multitude of tryout players to East Rutherford. Now, one of these tryout players I'm going to go over in just a minute. Practice had to be held indoors due to inclement weather in the Northeast, but that didn't impact the team's plan to any great degree, as the session served as an orientation of sorts. Yeah. It was crappy up there. I'm in South Jersey. It was kind of crappy down here as well, too. I said, here's a quick look at 7 things we learned on Friday. I said the first thing I'm gonna skip over. One of them says here is Daniel Jones is progressing. Now, one thing with him, without question, you certainly know that he's doing everything he can in his power to be back on the field. Right. Daboll said that quarterback Daniel Jones continues to progress and is currently working through the second stage of the offseason workout program. The head coach stopped short of suggesting Jones would be ready to go for phase 3, but didn't suggest there has been any sort of a setback, which fits with what Jones and general manager Joe Schoen have previously said. Daboll did note that Nathan Rourke's signing had nothing to do with Jones or his recovery timetable. Now, with Rourke, you really needed to have, because you knew Jones, for OTAs and all, was not going to be ready to be out there running around and all that stuff and everything. So it was really, Giants really going to need 3 quarterbacks. So that was probably the biggest reason why they brought Rourke in. Now, however, possibly if Daniel Jones was not injured. They have Drew Lock and they have Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan, and they have their three quarterbacks. Maybe they're not bringing Rourke in. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, here we go. All right. Then the next thing here they're talking about here is Allen Robinson. He apparently said he wanted to be a Giant. Well, Giants seem excited to have a veteran wide receiver, Allen Robinson, who was signed on Thursday in the locker room. Robinson is equally as excited to be there, having wanted to sign with Big Blue. Said, I asked Dabes about Allen Robinson. Had a good workout, been a good player in this league, and he said he wanted to be here. So, Malik Nabers has to pick things up quickly. That's another thing. Rookie wide receiver Malik Nabers will face pressure right out of the gate with the Giants. Daboll acknowledged that Nabers will likely play a big role on offense in 2024, and they'll need to get him up to speed on the playbook as quickly as possible. So it was light work at minicamp. Yeah, I mean, very, very light work. I mean, a lot of it was just, they weren't over. They were not over. Throwing too much on the guy. I think, you know what I mean. Then there's Connor Hughes here, as on looks like, I guess maybe is it Twitter? Maybe Twitter. Oh yes, on Twitter. Yeah, he has a video here of Nabers running a pattern. The ball was thrown like way up high, and he just snatched that mofo out of the air. Man, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see that guy on the field. So the final two things I want to talk about here is Myjai Sanders came in for a tryout. Okay, now he has 2 years of experience, right, as an edge rusher. Okay, there weren't many notable non-rookie tryouts for the Giants, with the exception of one, edge rusher Myjai Sanders. Third-round pick from the Cardinals in the 2022 NFL Draft. Right? Yeah, from Cincinnati. Sanders spent last season with the Texans after being waived off of injury reserve by the Cardinals in October. In 20 career games, 4 starts, Sanders has recorded 30 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 3 passes defense, 7 quarterback hits, and 3 sacks. Now, Sanders. Now, he didn't have anything last season as far as with Houston. His 3 sacks came with Arizona in 2022. He in 2022 with Arizona, he played 13 games. He had 4 starts. Right? He had 3 sacks. I said last season with Houston, he played 7 games. Okay, and he had 7 tackles. So I mean, nothing. I don't know. Let's see here. Last season, all right, with Houston, he had played 108. Now this is not too bad. Last season, Myjai Sanders with Houston, he only played 189 snaps. Okay, 117 of them were pass rushing opportunities. Okay, now last season he didn't have any sacks last season. However, in the 117 pass rushing opportunities, he had a total of 12 pressures. So basically, right, 12 out of 117. So very close to every 10 times he rushed a passer, he got 1 pressure. Now, he had 10 hurries and 2 hits. No sacks, okay, but he did have 12 pressures. So it wasn't like he was totally, he didn't, as I said, he had, what the heck can I say? He said 189 snaps. He had 7 tackles. I mean, the tackles, there was nothing super spectacular, nothing to be writing home about or not like that. But, he got some pressure. Right? I mean, I like that. He's 6'5". He's 248. It's about 250. Right? Nice size. Really, really nice size. Now, with Cincinnati, okay, he played 4 seasons with Cincinnati. He had 13 and a half sacks, right? The 13 and a half sacks he had was in the last 3 seasons. Now, let's see. 2 of his sophomore season and his junior season, he played defensive end, and that's where he had 11 sacks in 2 seasons as a defensive end. Then apparently it looks like they put him in a defensive line. I don't think they maybe moved him in. I don't know. He only had 2.5 sacks. Okay. But, I mean, the possibilities are there. Let me see. What did he do in 2022 here with the Cardinals? Okay. He only played 260 snaps, so he didn't play a lot. Right? I mean, pass rush. He had 168 pass rushing snaps. Sacks, 3 sacks, a hit, and third. So he had a total of 17. So basically, the same thing as it was the year before. 168 is in 2022 with the Cardinals. He had 168 pass rushing opportunities. So basically, it's rounded off to 170, right? In those 170 pass rushing opportunities, he got 17 pressures. So once again, out of every 10 pass rush, he gets a pressure. Now 3 of them were sacks. He got 1 hit and he got 13 hurries. So I mean, I don't know if we can work some magic with him and maybe get some more out of him. I don't know. He missed a little bit at the beginning of the season in 2022, but as I said, he hasn't played a lot. Right, so he still has a lot of tread left on the tires. But, he said he only played 260 snaps in 2022, and he played 189 snaps last season. So I'll have to wait and see. But once again, they just brought him in, right? It doesn't mean, just for a tryout. So I'll have to wait and see. But, somebody that maybe the Giants can use and maybe get some production in the pass rushing out of. And then finally, the last one here is that I'll tell you what, you look at the thumbnail. I'll tell you what that I have for this video here. I'll tell you what, you look at the picture on the one side and the other. I mean, I'll tell you what, he is slimmed down. Brian Daboll, the new Slim Shady. Please stand up. Please stand up. I don't know if he got his. Maybe he got a what do you put one of those a band around his stomach or something like that. He's lost a lot of weight. I mean, in a few months. I mean, I don't know what diet he's on, but he said he lost like 35 pounds. I mean, that's an awful lot of weight. It was funny because somebody asked him, said something about like his weight loss or something. I think he said it has a long way to go or something. He said apparently, he said, the amount of weight that he's lost, he said is comparable to like maybe taking a chair and throwing it off of a yacht or something like that. So he's lost according to him, a little bit of weight. He always had a little humor in there. And so he says, apparently, I guess according to him, he has a long way to go. But I'll tell you what, you look at those 2 pictures in that thumbnail. My goodness, he's lost a lot of weight. I mean, you look at the one his neck is all fat, his stomach and everything like that. And it trimmed down. That's good. That's good for him. I mean, because being a coach is a tough. I mean, the stress and all of that, and obviously the way last season went with all the injuries and the losses and everything like that, and it can really take a toll on you. And if you're not eating right, you're not exercising right, you're overweight and all that stuff, that's a recipe for disaster right there. But looks like he's taking care of himself, so that's really, really good. All right, guys. Well, it's been 59 minutes, so there's 2 more days of minicamp. Now, apparently the press and whatever, they'll be there on Saturday. Now, according to what I know, I'm in South Jersey here anyway. So if the weather here in South Jersey is close to when it's supposed to be in North Jersey. I was supposed to mow my lawn today. Couldn't mow the lawn today because it was raining out. So apparently I'll be able to mow my lawn tomorrow because the sun will be out. So hopefully the sun will be out in North Jersey. So hopefully they'll be outside tomorrow, right? But there will be coverage of the mini camp tomorrow, and then Sunday they'll be wrapping it up. There'll be day 3, but there won't be no coverage or anything like that. So hopefully we'll be back again tomorrow, and we'll have some more news, about what's going on. But I mean, once again, it's just they're not overloading the guys with anything. Nobody's making the roster. Nobody's getting kicked off the roster or whatever. I mean, just based on what they've been doing here for the most part. So nothing to get too excited about. But it is certainly nice to have the, guys, the rookie class. They're in there, and they're, we're getting ready. They're starting to build up, right, for the new season. You're figuring about a month from now, right? A little over a month, right? From now is when they'll have that 1 month off, right? I can't remember what it is. It was like June 13th, 14th, or 15th, or something like that, till like July 15th. They'll have like 4 weeks off, right? So we'll have a decent amount of stuff for the next month, right? But then they'll have that month off. But so the month off is kind of like, man, this stinks. There's nothing going on. What's going on? But when that month is over and they come back to training camp and preseason and regular, oh man, it's on. Gotta love it. All right, guys, remember, spend any time listening to me live. Thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching or any part of the replay, just once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.